weird that is? It just got hair right there. It's real, too. It's not fake, see?
Ow! This is called my pathway to paradise, or conversely, my highway to hell.
Treasure trail, sometimes they call it. See, because you follow this trail, and it just goes all the way down. But we won't show that on TV.
Hey, so welcome to J&B on the ROX. J&B on the ROX.
Wow. Hi, my name's B, and I'll be your editor on this fine television program. Allow me to take the camera and turn it around.
Yes, and I'm Jay, actually, and I'm your bartender here. And actually, just to prove that I know what I'm talking about, I'm going to mix a drink. Now,
right over there.
We're mixing a drink called an apple BJ, okay? What you do is you put some ice in a glass, okay? Just enough to make your fingers cold. Then you take your favorite scotch, and of course, everyone knows what our favorite scotch is. That's not an endorsement. Yes. Yes, and then just pour in like 1.5 ounces of that. Oops, that was too much, but you know, we're big guys and we deserve big drinks. So, excuse me. So then you want to add about 3.5, 4 ounces of apple juice. Now we're using unfiltered apple juice because we are funky young natural kings of the universe. And now I'm going to taste this fine concoction, the apple BJ. Now I would pronounce that as distinctly potable. Draining the eternal cup of impurity. Or wait, no.
Draining the cup of the eternally impure.
Yes, that's what it is. Because, you know, we use our livers as filters for the world. Wow, it's fecal trail decoration, or yard decoration.
Yes, a fine fecal yard decoration.
Now, I wonder what this creature was.
Let's examine and analyze this with our scientific method.
Looks like something, it's really shiny, so it looks like this creature might have like been eating shellac or something like that. Yeah, you're seeing it real close right now. As a matter of fact,
smell it.
Yeah, you can almost smell it here on J&B on the ROX. That's actually one of our slogans, is you can almost smell it. So, you know,
you can almost smell the shit.
Decaying food, that's what it's all about. You know, everything returns to the ground, and that's one of those things that happens. Now this house here, we came here to a party one time, and it was all a lot of fun. Then at the end of the party, just after the band finished playing, somebody upstairs flushed the toilet and flushed some turds down the toilet, and they went out they came out in the basement on the floor. It was one of the most disgusting things I've ever seen, and it stunk like a motherfucker. And that was the effective end of the party. It just all collapsed from there. But you know, it's just like everything does. The shit was returning to the ground, returning from whence it came, or something.
Yes, to the ground from which all life springs, all vegetative matter. You know, that shit probably went to fertilize some field somewhere that grew some crops, so if somebody could eat some more food to shit and have it pop out at another party.
It's all shit.
That's
We're
probably
all
unlikely,
full of shit.
Gross.
Drunk ass fool, just a punk ass, gonna cause trouble. Now let me burst that bubble in a hurry. I ain't happy, so worry. What's a judge and a punk ass Jerry, homeboy?
So we're gonna make another drink here for you. This drink is gonna be called an apple BJ. Now you may have noticed that that was the first drink that we made as well. That's because we're returning to the same drink because, you know, it always goes back to the same place, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah, add about 1.5 ounces of scotch. Oops, that's a little too much, but that's okay because we're big guys here on J&B on the ROX. So then you'll want to add some apple juice, maybe 3.5, 4 ounces, something like that. Swish it around, and then taste this beverage, and get the bugs out of your ears so that you can taste it. I would pronounce that as distinctly potable. As a matter of fact, I'm going to drink it all.
I go home, I get slapped and stoned when I disconnect that fucking that phone. Then you get the kick to the jaw, kid, and I rip out your eyelids so you can see.
Draining the cup of life and refilling it again.
Urban decay.
Yep.
It's all around us.
Yeah.
Look at this grid, this checkerboard. Notice something odd about it. It's all kind of leaning this way.
Yeah, yeah.
Because the house is kind of leaning this way.
Yeah.
It's kind of falling apart, but things fall apart.
Yeah, yeah.
Things fall apart.
Especially here in Bloomington, Indiana, the 11th poorest city in the nation or something like that.
Yeah, where, landlords really don't care about how nice their property is kept, just as long as they can continue to milk some money out of it real easy.
Yeah. Wow, I found a walking stick. So now I can walk more comfortably and be more sure of my footing because I've got this nice stick to keep me steady. So there we go. Jay's walking stick. Because I don't go for conventional straight sticks, I'm not into those funky young straight things. I prefer the crooked version because I am a crooked motherfucker or something.
Oh, wait a second. In the midst of all this studentine dilapidation, it's a giant, great big house.
Wow.
A nice house.
Well
Splendor.
kept.
Splendor in the midst of the ghetto. What is going on here?
Wow, this must be Wiley House. This
must be connected to the university in some way.
Yeah,
That's the
yeah.
only possible explanation.
Yeah, because they're the only motherfuckers in this town that have any money because they dick all us former students and
So, they say smashing windows is like eating potato chips. Once you smash one, you gotta smash them all. Locked.
Damn. Yes. Yep, it's locked.
She's gonna open it for us because she has the key.
Yeah.
That's nice, and I just happened to be working today.
And the seasons, they go round and round, and the painted ponies go up and down. We're captive on the carousel of time. We can't return, we can only look behind from where we came and go round and round and round in the circle again. Then the child moved 10 times round the seasons, skated over 10 clear frozen streams. Words like when you're older must appease him, and promises of someday make up his dreams. And the seasons, they go round and round, and the painted ponies go up and down. We're captive on the carousel of time. We can't return, we can only look behind from where we came and go round and round and round in the circle again.
And this is the shit that we live in today. Look at it. In one side and out the other. Because what goes around comes around, so let's have a drink. In fact, I feel like I need a drink in order to cope with the despair which has come over me now, just looking around at all this ugliness.
Ugliness here in Bloomington, Indiana.
Yeah, can you believe it?
What go around, come around, kid. What go around, come around. What go around, come around, kid.
So we've returned to whence we came once again to mix another drink for you here on this television program, J&B on the Rocks. It's a show which glorifies the responsible use of alcohol. We're making an apple BJ. Now, you'll note that we've made this 2 times already on the show, and we're making it a 3rd time. Why is that? Well, you know, we thought it would be deeply clever of us to make the same drink just as many times as we can until we passed out drunk. By the way, add 1.5 ounces of scotch and about 3 or 4 ounces of your favorite apple juice, okay? So, and then taste it. I would pronounce that as distinctly potable. Sipping the cup of life to be returned once again unto the earth via my urethra.
Everything that's ever happened, has happened an infinite number of times in the past already. And will continue to happen an infinite number of times in the future. Again and again. We eternally return to the same things. The same moment, the same places, the same people, the same situations, the same feelings inside our hearts. Well, that's a theory anyway.
It's a reasonable theory, I suppose, you know, but at the same time, you know, one could argue that it's silly. But you know, here on J&B on the Rocks, we like to glorify the silly things. So, here we go. Seizure. She had a seizure Friday.
Well, Kelly, you've come to the right place.
She had a seizure Friday. Look, the women are making out on the TV program. Can you believe it? They're making
I have to do it like this.
out the lovers. They look like lovers at night. Wonder if they're gonna strip for you. I doubt it. I really doubt it. Falling apart.
Hey, you guys, this will be my last Sunday single. So, in honor of that, I'd like to just put that there, and then...
Take a hit from the hookah.
Hey, boys!
And I want,
What do you
that's
say?
right. This is my last
Oh, you
night
see a
of
little
freedom, so
indentation in the
I'm gonna
hand?
take
Well, that
off
was
and-
just from,
Hey, boys!
Nom, yeah!
What do you say?
But I'm back now.
So here we go again.
Oh my God. Wow. That's insane.
Hi, Jay.
Can you believe it?
Welcome to the trouble.
Oh, look, and these are the people that live here. Fancy that.
Look at the puppy.
Andrew is constantly going around and around, and in his head, in fact, will go around and it'll just turn all the way around just like that. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Let's find the
And your
circles
earrings.
in this house.
Let's find other circles on
First, we
Andrew's
have
body.
a circle on the air conditioner. This is a circle. This right here. See how this is a circle? This, in fact, is a 3D circle. I mean,
sphere.
it's a sphere, just like the Earth is a
3D
sphere.
circle or sphere. Math on J&B on the Rocks.
This is a
Speaking
circle.
of math,
Circles.
One day after.
Circles right there.
There's a lot of sucking in the wars.
More circles. Just infinite circles.
I like it.
Some more circles. Let's see, now this fan is making just one big circle as you know, it's just moving around and around, but you know, we don't see it as a circle. It's making a circle, but we don't perceive it as a circle. Cycle, the cycle of life. Now this is something we don't want. We don't want a square. We don't want a square. Squares are bad. Squares Squares, they emphasize the.
What's wrong? What's wrong, Kelly?
Squares emphasize the bad.
Kelly, where have you been? Do you have any way you can document where you've been? Because I don't know if I believe you where you've been.
No, this is not what we want. We don't want a triangle.
No, I'm sorry.
Triangles represent.
Yeah.
Rectangles are bad.
Rectangles very bad. But circles are good. Just like Andrew. Andrew is a big circle.
What goes around comes around, and what goes around goes around. What goes around comes.
We're going to be mixing another drink here. This is going to be called an apple BJ. We're going to put some ice in a glass. Just take it out of your ice container and put it in the glass. Just put in enough until you can actually feel some sensation in the ends of your fingers, some kind of cold sensation. Add some scotch, about an ounce and a half, I'd say. Well, darn, I added too much, but that's okay because we're big people and we deserve big drinks. Yeah. So next we're going to add about 3 or 4 ounces of apple juice. This natural apple juice, unfiltered, that we got here at Kroger here in Bloomington, not to endorse a particular something. Then swish it around and take a sip.
And dunk your tortilla in it.
Dunk your tortilla. Meat. I would pronounce that as distinctly potable.
What goes around comes around, and what goes around comes around. What goes around comes around, and what goes around comes around.
Sucking from the nipple of life. Sucking the nipple of life. Here on J&B on the Rocks, this show which glorifies the responsible use of alcohol by teaching you to make a variety of mixed drinks like this apple BJ, which we've made 7 or 8 times now on television here for you here on this television show about, you know, because we're returning from whence we came. We started at one place and went back to the same place, and then
And here we are.
Here we are again in our backyard at this undisclosed location here in Bloomington, Indiana.
Today we're reading from the potable Nietzsche.
Yes.
Nietzsche.
You seem to have a little bit of trouble with that name there.
Yeah, well, it's a difficult name. You know, people in Indiana don't really know how to pronounce it. Now, how would you pronounce that, Jay?
Portable.
So here goes.
Mm-hmm.
The strong races of Northern Europe did not reject the Christian God certainly does no credit to their religious genius, not to speak of their taste. There is no excuse whatever for their failure to dispose of such a sickly and senile product of decadence. But a curse lies upon them for this failure. They have absorbed sickness, old age, and contradiction into all their instincts. And since then, they have not created another God. Almost 2,000 years and not a single new God. But still, as if his existence were justified, as if he represented the ultimate and the maximum of the God-creating power of the Creator Spiritus in man, this pitiful God of Christian monotonotheism. This week's vocabulary word is monotonotheism. Now, you might not find the word monotonotheism in a dictionary, even an unabridged dictionary. It was coined by Friedrich Nietzsche. Monotonotheism. Monotony and God. The two kind of go hand in hand. The same God all the time. I mean, it gets kind of old. Can we have an end to this Christianity already?
We need a new God.
We're going on a crusade here on J&B on the Rocks for a new God. Why don't you write in with your ideas? Post Office Box 3241, Bloomington, Indiana 47402. Now back to you, Jay.
Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
Now, God only knows who gets to heaven, but the Southern Baptists have now estimated that 46.1% of the people in Alabama risk going to hell. This is according to an article in the Herald Times from the Associated Press.
Well, what was that statistic again?
46.1% of the people of Alabama risk going to hell because they're not Baptists, according to the Baptists. let's see, they 1.86 million unsaved by county.
Wait, this is in Alabama? Who
yeah.
cares?
Yeah, that's true. We're not in
I think that's
Alabama.
pointed
Yeah,
out.
I think there's plenty of us unsaved people here in Bloomington, and I think we should band together in kind of a little troop of hellbound motherfuckers. So if you'd like to join together in our hellbound motherfucker troop, write to us at P.O. Box 3241, Bloomington, Indiana, 47402. So, here we are. We're going to be making another drink here on J&B on the Rocks. It's gotten to be a little bit dark here, as you can tell, and we're having to use some unnatural light there. Much has occurred, but yet these are events that have occurred many times before and will occur many times in the future, and there's no reason at all why we should be surprised, amused, or even interested. It's just life. So
and you probably aren't. Now, we do want to stress that although we've been drinking all day, this is simulated alcohol. In fact, this is just apple juice.
Apple juice.
Isn't that right, Jeff?
Yeah, that's
it. Apple juice, and in fact, that's the irony.
Yeah, here's the irony. So I'm going to pour some irony into the glass, about 1.5 ounces. Oh gosh, that's more than 1.5 ounces, but that's okay because we're mixing a big drink for us big guys. Then add, I'd say 3 to 4 or 5 ounces of apple juice to that.
Now
we're using unfilled,
this is real apple juice, real
apple juice.
Real apple juice. This is not a simulation.
Yeah, because parts of our lives are simulated and parts are real. And you just have to decide which are which.
Yeah, you're on your own on that one.
Yeah. She and I masturbated together earlier. So, anyway, I am going to taste this fine beverage here. Wow. I would pronounce that as distinctly potable. If you would like to meet this fine young lady, you can write to us at P.O. Box 3241, Bloomington, Indiana, 47402.
Win a dream date?
Win a dream date with Kelly. Just write to us and let us know why you think you should have a date with Kelly on our TV program or something like that. Wow, 2 pieces of viewer mail here today on J&B on the Rocks. This one is, actually, they're both from the same person, from Joe M. Ma. Now, you'll notice that this guy has moved around a little bit. First, he says he's in Norfolk, Virginia, where he's written to us before, and now he's in Connersville, Indiana. I think he was in Iowa one time.
Look at the postmarks.
Indianapolis, Bloomington. Wow. So, 4 different sources, possible sources. I think the guy's trying to fuck with us. Now this one has something in it. It's very obviously a condiment. In fact, you can even see here there's a stain of some sort.
Do you think it's a used condom?
Yeah, probably so.
Gross.
So I'm going to open this very carefully. Now I would emphasize that if this is a used condom, I'm going to have to get really angry because you know that's the way that diseases are spread. So.
You know, AIDS virus dies outside the body, I think.
Yeah. Oh, okay. No, it's not. Well, it is. It seems to have come open. I think that's why it was. Why we have this wet spot on the thing. But here we have a Shields Protection X. It's tightly rolled, so I can only assume that it was not, in fact, used. Okay. Once again, we have some receipts from Joe M. Ma. So let's see. What do we have here? We've got. Hope you enjoyed your visit. Compliments, Kathy. Oh, we've got a number here. Kathy, 1-800-63-K-MART. Suggestions go to Jim Wagner, 336-0191. Let's see, a kitchen brush, Fritos barbecue, Doritos, cash tendered $5. So this person paid in cash, Joe M. Ma did. 8/29/93 is the transaction date at 4:51 p.m. You know, you can learn a lot about people from the receipts that they carry around. Another one from TIS. This man is a funky young patron of TIS bookstore. He tendered $30.15. Oh, and look, he was stupid enough to actually send us this receipt, which has his credit card number. It's his Discover number printed on it. It's 6011005468517043. Expiration date 5/95. Now,
And now we found a good reason for taking the easy way out. A good reason for taking the easy way out now. And that's what I'm all about now. I've got the number on your credit card account now.
yeah, and he also sent us these Arby's good food you can feel good about things. He sent us 5 of them, so we can only assume that they must hold a great deal of gravity in his life. What we have here is a
chart.
A chart. It's a chart of foods that we have that you can get at Arby's and their nutritional value or lack thereof. You make the call. So, well, that's fascinating. Boy, we really appreciate the sincere and honest input that we're getting from our viewers. So here's one,
folks.
Yeah, J&B on the Rocks, sent by Joe M. Ma. Now he wrote the numbers on our address in a different color than the letters. We can only assume that like much of this has some relevance to some kind of secret code that we're supposed to be cracking here. But you know, frankly, we get drunk too often. We just don't have time or the memory to really decipher all this. Hey, so we have pictures.
There's a guy puking.
Yep, look, vomit. Yes, that's really savory. I'm glad that someone sent us a photo of where they puked on their leg.
Well, you know,
can even see a little bit of spittle coming out of the guy's mouth.
But you know what that is? That's an indication of what can happen if you drink too much.
Irresponsibly.
Now,
yeah.
I just want to point out something.
Yes, what's that?
That never happened to somebody who was smoking too much pot.
Going to the market. Dave and Jennifer Smith buy a plant from Wendell Wayman at the Bloomington Farmers Market Saturday morning. This is a photo by Eva Bohackle. Bohackle, the Indiana Daily Student. Eva Bohackle.
Eva Bohackle.
There's one more thing in this little package, and we can't show it to you.
Oh,
so
please.
Sorry. It's obviously something that this person took, the Joe M. Ma took off of somewhere because it's got tape on it, so it was obviously taped somewhere. It says at the top it says "Kill me," and on the side it says "I shaved." So it's trying to tell you that you should kill this person even though they shaved. It gives the person's name at the bottom and identifies them as a police informant. Now,
we're afraid to show you that.
Yeah, I actually happen to know that the person who did this was arrested and is in jail now for harassing a state's witness.
Wait, the person who made the flyer.
Made the flyer, yes. We probably shouldn't show you the person's actual name. We can show you just like
kill me.
A little bit of what the idea here is.
I shaved, so this beard is allowable because it's no longer relevant.
Yeah. So
and then there's this guy's name which you can't really see. But
yeah, Kurt.
Police.
Something.
Here, I'll cover it up with my pinky.
Yeah.
Police informant.
Yeah. So we probably shouldn't show you any real identifiable characteristics on this because then we'll probably get arrested. And you know, we here on J&B on the Rocks just don't want to get arrested, so we're avoiding it at all costs.
This is my anarchist day timer. See, I can't afford one of those ritzy, expensive things that all the yuppies buy. But you know, you can get probably a stack of 3x5 cards for pennies. You know,
and so you just write.
I've got to make a tape for Tammy, Cypress Hill, and various. Birth of Tragedy. B told me I should read that book. A friend of mine, Scott, I got a call tonight. Oh, you know what they just did? They just increased my credit limit on my Signet Bank MasterCard to $1,700.
Wow. And you don't even have a house. You're homeless, man. Wow. Well,
and they think I'm a student.
Yeah.
I got a student deal.
Wow.
I'm not even a student. Sometime I may tell you all about filing bankruptcy because the use of credit cards and the knowledge of bankruptcy could come in handy sometime.
All right. So I guess now that it's evening, now that the sun has once again gone down as it does every day, we're going to wrap up this episode of J&B on the Rocks, but you can guarantee that we'll be back next week, this same time, Tuesday night at 11. It happens again and again and again, an infinite number of times, here and ever after.
Yeah, you just keep coming back to J&B on the Rocks.
Goodbye. Venturing out, but always coming back. That's what the eternal return is all about. You know, it's about doing one thing and then coming back and doing it again. Because that's what Nietzsche said we always do. Now, regardless if you think he's full of shit, you have to admit it's a fun premise for a television show.